Hey guys, as you can see, as you know, I've been travelling the world for over 14 years now, sometimes without money. I left my home country a long time ago without money, and I've just been working odd jobs and doing teaching English as well. But as you can see, I've been couch surfing a lot, which is the best way to experience life, just meeting people, travelling around the world. That's how we're supposed to experience life, you know. Discover new places, meet new people, having adventures with new people. And couch surfing is great. But this host here, he gave me his own apartment, and I thought, wow, he's giving me an apartment. But I knew it was too good to be true because I had to do construction as an exchange. Do construction in this new place. As you can see, this place has a lot of construction that he's doing, and he didn't have a shower. They only had a shower for 10 minutes a day, which was this pipe. I had to use this pipe for 10 minutes a day, and it's really sweaty as well, so I had to really make the most of this shower 10 minutes a day, and then usually wash myself off in the sea. And I used to have to use the sink as a toilet. This little sink here is a toilet, but don't tell anyone that. And because they didn't have any running water at all, because we were doing construction, fixing up the house. And the window, as you can see, there's no windows. That hole is just there's no screens, there's no glass windows all around the house. So lots of mosquitoes used to come in and bite me every single night. And at night time, there's a window right behind my bed as well, and I thought, okay, someone can just come in, someone can just climb through my window and rob me or stab me or something. So I had difficulty sleeping sometimes with the mosquitoes as well, right next to my window, next to my bed. As you can see, I had to cover it up with a blanket there as we could do construction. And it was actually just nice just to have my own place. But I had to take care of it. Obviously I cleaned up all that mess when I left. We were doing construction on the place, we were fixing the pipe work and everything, painting and doing other jobs, which is nice to do. And the house next door had lots of construction on it, on the roof. And I remember waking up to people being right next to my window and hearing them. But it's a good way to experience the world, doing couch surfing. But then I got a great job working in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, near the last place I was staying. But it's a whole different world. This is Santa Teresa, and the last place staying in the apartment you saw was just right next to it, but it's like a completely different world. One avenue besides where I was staying, the last place you saw, the apartment, is here, which is like a completely different world. It looks like something from Mediterranean Italy. But obviously I knew there'd be a catch. I thought, okay, there's got to be a catch here. I'm working as a cleaner, construction worker, and usually there was. They treated me like a slave. It was really stressful work, and much more stressful than it needs to be, because it was run by a French lady who, I know French have got a reputation of being rude, and this lady were people from Paris, and I can see why, because this Parisian lady treated me like rubbish. Like, she loved talking down to me. She got an ego high from really talking down to me. And the Argentinian lady as well. They hate British guys. The Argentinian woman that was working there before, I was breaking my back, working overtime, doing, really stressing myself out, working. They kept shouting, do this, do that, do this, no, you're not doing it right, and everything. Really stressful work. And I worked in hostels and hotels before, and this was the most stressful, hardest job I've ever had. And probably not. I used to work at DHL and construction work for 17-hour shifts, so this was actually nice, and it's just nice to have my own room. So I put up with all the physical abuse and because they used to say, gringo this, gringo that. I could hear them talking underneath the breath and saying, gringo this, gringo that, and they knew they were saying this about me and that about me. And this was a nice part. I should have finished at 2 o'clock, but this is me working overtime, until nightfall, lifting heavy things and carrying everything. And at one time I was carrying heavy rocks, and just really unsafe work. They really don't care about you if anything's safe, because it wasn't official. I just found out on a WhatsApp group. They didn't have a work away account. Usually they do it from work away, volunteer work, and but she didn't have a work away account, and I was kind of wondering why. And then I realised why, because they leave references on work away, and the place that I was staying here, this hotel, had really bad reviews on Google, saying the people that run this place were horrible. They, physically, verbally abused them. Like I got verbally abused. She swore at me all the time and said, "This, you don't think And she loved to she knew I'd put up with it. She knew to love to get an ego trip, put myself down. She had a lot of places. She's a French lady, and she was a smoker, and she was pregnant as well. So those three combined is like a recipe for a disaster. but I put up with it because it was. I've had worse jobs. I mean, I've had harder jobs where I worked 17-hour shifts at physical labour work, where I lost my vision in my right eye because I had a piece of glass from fiberglass stuck in my right eye, which was the most painful experience I've ever had. That was, I think, 2013. I was working there. I was working 17-hour shifts. I was the only English guy there, so it was all Polish people. So they treated me like crap. They liked to, make me work overtime because they knew I'd put up with it because I had no other option. But here, I was staying in a nice room then, but they didn't want me in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, and they don't like a gringo or a white guy having a good time, because then again, all white guys would come here and take over, and then there'd be no more African people in in Brazil. So they need to put down the white guy and make sure he knows his place in Brazil. But yeah, I dropped a rock on my foot, and they just looked at me. That's the damage that I did from dropping the rock on my foot. So make sure you looked away during that time. And but when I dropped the rock on my foot, I was doing that for hours. I was lifting heavy rocks all the way and just really physically killed myself. My back was absolutely aching, and I thought I was going to do my back in. And obviously the other Argentinian lady, she didn't do any of the hard physical labour work. She was just cleaning, so they had me do all the hard physical labour work. And when they saw my foot was bleeding, they just looked at me and gave me a disgusting look. They didn't care about anything. Or this is me trying to survive making training videos for my friends. So if you want any training videos as well, just trying to keep fit as well. This was before I dropped the rock on my foot and before I broke my foot. Trying to keep agile like I do. But this was nice. It was just really nice to have my own room. This room was like the most beautiful room I've had, and this is the first room I've had for myself in years, and it was just nice to have my own room. So I put up with anything and everything, all the physical abuse and verbal abuse I got. And so it's just really nice to and here I can make some training videos, some kickboxing videos for my friends. So if you want any kickboxing videos or anything, I've had tons of experiences traveling around the world, but this is how I keep fit. I usually, if I don't have time because here I was still working. This is like a little break I had, and I'm supposed to work 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. because you're not supposed to work overtime. It's illegal for you to work overtime if you don't get paid. I wasn't getting paid for this. I just got my own bed. I wasn't getting any food. So I thought, okay, I'd do some training videos here because I usually do training videos at the beach, but I couldn't make it to the beach because it was a bit far away, and they had me working. I mean, when nightfall's about to come here, and nightfall in Rio, you get robbed quite a bit. So yeah, I had to make some training videos here, some kickboxing videos, keep myself fit and agile because I knew I had to do a lot of heavy lifting the next day. And they hate you. They hate white guys, having a good time and haven't taken it easy here. I'm in Sao Paulo now, which is completely different. They really chill in Sao Paulo because Sao Paulo has a lot of European, descendants, so they like me taking it easy. But yeah, this is me. This is what I've been used to doing. I usually, if I don't have time to make it to the gym, I usually just bodyweight squats, and I feel a lot more agile. I feel like if I do weighted squats with at the gym with like barbell squats, I have big legs and I feel a bit swollen, and I don't feel agile. And jobs like this, you need to be agile. You need to have complete control of your body because I'm running up and down the stairs every day, carrying heavy things. I'm doing cleaning. I need to clean the rooms really quickly, and if on time, and I had to do a lot of heavy construction, and you can't have a lot of it. It's good to have a fit body, an agile body, something that can move around agile, rather than eating a lot of food and having big muscular body, which requires extra energy and extra food and extra calories to carry around. So I used to do like bodyweight squats and push-ups and pull-ups, bodyweight exercises, because that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be endurance athletes, and travelers and adventurers. And that's how we survive. And but I had to keep this room pristine clean, which is hard when you're here in the sweat, and it's really sweaty. So I constantly have showers all the time to make sure I wasn't stinking up the place. And she used to look down at me, and if she smelt any sweat on me, she used to criticise me and tut at me and give me a disgusting look. But here, they gave me my own little cabin here. This is me finally finishing work at like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. when I was supposed to finish at 2 p.m. but they had me working overtime. So this is me doing pull-ups just to get rid of the stress from the day. outside my little cabin, which is full of mosquito bites, and ants were biting me all the time because they didn't want me near the house. They don't want a gringo near the house. They didn't want any. The Brazilian guest guy that ran it, and he was smoking weed all the time, and the French lady, they like to receive the guests, to look good for the guests. But the guests loved me. They loved talking to me because it's like I didn't think they liked the French lady because they obviously they got bad reviews and from how they got treated there. But they loved it when I was working. The guests loved talking to me because I was not the only friendly, really friendly one there, and they could speak English to the guests that were you. I don't know. I think the Brazilian guy might have felt jealous. So that's the thing. It's like the law of attraction. The 48 laws of power. I was doing well. I was working as hard as I could, tried to give a good impression. But she snapped at me and got angry at me. When I was being too nice and being, really giving 100%. And then I realised that's the way you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to work good, but not work better than the boss, because then the boss gets jealous. The boss feels insecure. I think that's one of the 48 laws of power. So I started to shut up. I started to be really subservient and quiet, and do the work, but not be really overly friendly and be really too nice, because then they just take advantage of you and they get really angry. And especially the guy one day, he liked to receive the guests, and I could tell he didn't like being with his wife, the French lady, because they had a baby together, and the woman was probably stressing him out, and they were constantly arguing and shouting, and that's not a good energy you want for a hotel. But the guests loved talking to me because I was the only one that had a good energy there. Here's me using the pool. My cabin was right up there. You see the stairs? Then it's like a 20-second walk to my cabin up there, full of mosquitoes. But I was using a pool here to feel refreshed. As you can see, I'm trying to not splash because I don't want them to hear me using the pool, because then they'd be like, "No, gringo, you're not allowed to use the pool. I'm not allowed to do anything." Even though the new lady that came to work there, she got given the room that I was staying in. Even though she was doing less work than me, I was working overtime, and she got given a bathroom in the house, but they didn't want a white gringo using the house. She wanted me to be away. Because in Rio de Janeiro, they hate, the idea of it. A lot of places, I can understand why though, because it's same in Paraguay and Mexico, they hate, gringos coming to their country and having fun and having a great time, because then they feel like if people see that they're having a good time, and then all the Europeans would come here, they'd all take over, and then the Brazilians or the African Brazilians would go extinct. And I kind of understand that, because that's what's happening in England now. England has been too nice, been too welcoming, and said, "Oh, okay, well, we'll open up all our doors, we'll let everyone in, we'll let everyone take over, take all our jobs and everything." And England's been England's been too polite for a long time and been too nice to everybody, and that's why we're going extinct. Us white species are going extinct. Us white, especially the white English people, are going extinct. I think from the 1800s or something, the population of white people was something like 23% in the world, and now it's something like 0.3%. I don't know the exact statistics, but if you look it up online, it's something like that. But hear me using the pool, trying to be quiet, so no one sees me and spots me. I put on a lot of weight here for some reason. I don't know why. Even though I wasn't eating, I couldn't afford food. But I think because the guy was smoking weed all the time. He was smoking weed near my house, and I don't smoke weed, but it really affects me, the secondhand smoke. If I have smell a bit of secondhand smoke, it really affects me. And it makes me feel really lazy and sleep and I know people. I used to work with Polish people in Holland, and they used to smoke weed all the time, and they used to have mood swings. One minute they'd be really nice and cool, but next minute they'd be really angry. And it had the same with me. I used to smoke weed in 2011, just once, and it made me not feel like I had great control over my body. Until later on, until the weed started to come out of my system, and then I felt more agile, unlike Bruce Lee, because I think Bruce Lee used to have a bit of hash or something to help him relax, but it also caused a lot of mood swings in the people I was working with, and it caused a lot of mood swings with me as well, I remember, and that's when I stopped having it. It caused a lot of feel like I didn't have complete control over my body, too lethargic sometimes and hard to snap out of it. But yeah, I was doing pull-ups there every single day to wake myself up, and get myself into shape for the hard construction work I was doing. But I had to escape the house. I escaped the next day. This is actually just after I was doing those pull-ups in the morning. Had a shower, and the guy used to shout at me if I was having a shower for longer than 10 minutes. I wasn't allowed to have a shower for longer than 10 minutes, even though I wasn't having a shower in the house. I had a shower in my own bathroom, which a cold shower as well. They went in having hot water, which is fine with me because I told them I love cold showers. I haven't had a hot shower for 7 years. I've been having cold showers and intermittent fasting and traveling the world and training every day for at least 7 years to wake myself up. I think it's me being part Viking. But yeah, this taken just after I escaped. I didn't want to speak to the French lady because the French lady's like, okay, I want to speak to you. And she always used to put me down. She used to swear at me and verbally abuse me and to make herself feel good. But I left at 6 a.m. That was me doing pull-ups at 6 a.m. like you said, and I just packed my bags up and just left because without giving her a warning, because I didn't want her to speak to me, because I knew she was going to say something like, charge me money or something for this, or charge me extra money for the table. She used to the guy broke the table and they blamed it all on me, and I didn't break any table, but I used to put up with it. I said, okay, yeah, I did it, but he used to blame everything on me. And I think the guy smoking weed a lot, had mood swings and had a bad energy around the house, which caused the guests, to seem really miserable and not. But they love talking to me. But whenever I love talking to them, you can see the French lady and the Brazilian guy were looking over my shoulder, making and then tell me, Aaron, don't talk to them. Get back to work. Don't do this. And you don't want that. But yeah, I put up with it anyways because I used to work 17-hour shifts in Holland. So I put up with it, and because I got to give him as long as I get to sleep at the end of the day and get my own place. But the Argentinian lady, I think they went away for 1 week. The French lady and the Brazilian lady went away for 1 week to get married, and then and they had to put it with their own kid as well, so they had a lot on the plate. It caused a lot of stress, and that stressful energy isn't nice for a hotel. But yeah, but when they went away for a week, it was just me and the new Argentinian lady, not the one that was verbally abusing me and talking down to me, because they hate British guys, Argentinian lady, because they have a big fear that they call British guys pirates, because they have a fear that the British guys are going to come over and take over, the country, which I kind of understand, which, like I say, with what happened to England has been too nice and too welcoming to people, where a lot of places in like Argentina, or Latin America, they hate, they really treat you like crap, especially being white, because they fear that they are going to go extinct. Like the British guys are going to come over and take over because they do well with the women and everything. So they spread a lot of propaganda around. Like a lot of them have a lot of fear when as a gringo, if you talk to the ladies or anything, a lot of them have a guard up, and a lot of them are fed a lot of propaganda about gringos, gringo this, gringo that. And especially online as well. Like you look online and YouTube, they think we're all serial killers or something. Every Netflix show is always about the white serial killer, or the white guy being the evil bad guy. And but they spread that around by propaganda as well since birth through the families and friends, and say, gringo this, gringo that, and they spread rumors around, like they're the boogeymen and all this. And it's eventually our fear that they'll be going extinct, they'll take over. Because Brazil used to be nice. Here you see we're going to Lapa now, so you're going away back to the war zone and away from the nice place.